Welcome all you Scorpios to Love Adventure number 3. This of course is for all you Scorpios regardless of where you have the Scorpio in your chart, whether it's your Venus, your Sun, your Moon, your Rising, wherever, this reading will be for you. If by the time you get to the end of this reading you want to know more about your love or this did not resonate with you, there is also Love Adventure number 1 and 2 which will be linked at the end in the corners. But we are, for this reading, going to start with pulling a card here from the Rumi Oracle, which will be what the Creator wants you to know overall for the next 3 months from today when you see this video about your love. And love doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. It can be family, friends, work, like work peers, your fur babies, your feather babies, whatever relationship that you are seeking information on. So Creator, for our Scorpios, what would you like them to know about the next 3 months regarding their love, please? Okay, there we go. And you have the Human Gift. This is card number 17. This reminds me a lot, especially with 7 plus 1 is 8, reminds me of the Strength card. And we'll see what this says here. We may be going into that because they're telling me about it. But I'm not going to read the whole thing from this book because it is quite extensive, a lot of information. I'm just going to see whatever the Creator has jump out to me. And this starts off saying, be kind to your heart. You may believe it to be weary from doubt and distrust, so much heartbreak and so many agonies, yet still it beats. Still it persists with unquestioning allegiance to life. What a grand heart it is, this sacred heart of yours. How can it be worthy of anything other than tenderness, gratitude, acknowledgement, and appreciation? Don't plague your heart with falsehoods and expectations of some disembodied perfection. The perfection of your heart is that it loves still, even if you try to stop it with some notion of self-protection from future hurt through doubt or fear. Still, it loves. It is perfection that it hopes even after despair, that it holds compassion even after experiences of fear. So then, what is there left to do but breathe the grander sigh of relief and allow yourself the essential luxury of peace within? So then, everything is all right, even if at some moments it seems not to be. Still, your heart beats in honor of life. The heart can be nurtured and coaxed into gentle acceptance of all that is, and the divine sight will become available to you. And this oracle comes with special guidance for you. You are, or soon will be, seen with greater clarity and insight, a situation that has been obscure to you in the past. You may be startled by what you perceive, so much so that you second guess yourself or chalk it up to wild imagination on your part. You're asked to trust in your perception that when they come from the heart, although what you perceive may be darkness, there will be no judgment in it. See what is truthfully there. Be in the compassionate nature of your heart, and you shall be shown the most graceful way to become clear and free of darkness, either within yourself or within others in the world around you. So, that's all that they want me to read from this. Yeah, this is all about seeing things from a higher perspective. You're going to be able to see the capital T truths of some pain, expectations, chaos, whatever you might have experienced. And that is the Strength card, finding your inner strength within yourself. This is your human side, and this is your higher side. You actually have 2 beings that are living within you. You have your human character that you chose to represent you on this planet, your human body, your human personality. And then you have the actor behind the character, which is the powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being that's made of unconditional love. That is who you truly are. This is an expression, a small piece of who you are, but this is the pure powerful, endless being that you really are. And so there's this discovery that's happening, and you're realizing that there's this world of expectations and conditions and opinions of the outside world, but that there's something so much higher, so much truth, capital T truth, that's so much truer than the small t truths of the human side of us. We, of course, are going to dig in more here. And we're going to look into each of the 3 individual months of this 3-month period. And we're going to start off with month number 1 with this Return of Spirit deck. I'm just going to see what the Creator wants you to know about month number 1. So for our Scorpios, what would you like them to know? Okay. I guess that's their answer. Yeah, voice. Yeah, it's definitely about making your truth, your capital T truth, heard by yourself and possibly others. Though you really control what others will hear? I'm not sure. Jury's still out on that one. But the book says, let your voice be heard. You are a beautiful and wise being of the divine, made to bring forth your individual truth and expression. No more holding back, no more staying small. You are being called to use the gift of your words and the power of your voice. What you have to say is important. What you have to share is needed, and that's of your higher self, right? You could be finding yourself being asked to step out in front of groups to talk, or you may be finding that situations keep coming up where you are being given an opportunity to be vocal about what you think, believe, or feel. For many of us, this does not come easily. Often, we've had past experiences which discouraged us from expressing ourselves openly. And it's time to begin to heal those old understandings and allow yourself to be seen and heard. Each of us has a unique expression. And whether you're being asked to sing or chant or pray or speak or teach, it is your voice that needs to be heard. And this can also be related to simply stating what is true for you in your relationships. It could involve stating your point of view, your needs or desires, regardless of how different they may be. So it's time to remember who you are. You are a spark of God. Like this card. Stand up for yourself. Stand tall in what you believe. Speak from your heart, and your words will always be heard. Your voice is a gift, and it is meant to be shared. You're about to empower yourself in a way that you have not experienced before, and you will notice that by taking this step of being vocal, you fall more into alignment of what you are really here to do. And that is great, because, I talked about before, when you voiced your opinion, is this humanness, this ego, this being that is ruled by fight or flight. When we try to prove that our small t truth is more truer than someone else's small t truth, you have this conflict. You have this, someone's going to try to fight and try to win until someone changes from the fight and fight or flight to the flight and fight or fight. And that is why, you have experienced that conflict before. But that's not what this is about. This is about speaking your truth, your higher truth, your capital T truth of unconditional love in a loving way. When you do that, it doesn't sound like, well, this is what you need to believe because this is what I believe. That is the ego. Sharing your capital T truths is like saying, this is what I've learned in my life and what I've experienced. Blah. And I'm sharing this because I care, and take what you want and leave what you don't want. Easy breezy. And if they're like, oh, I don't believe anything you say, and blah, 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 I'm like, okay, that's your choice. You do whatever you want. I was just sharing from my heart. And they're like, oh, okay. You're not going to try to make me believe that? No. And that's the change. You see the difference there. And then we're going to pull some cards here from these tea leaf cards and just see what else the Creator wants you to know about your first month here. And you first have the 4-leaf clover. Beautiful, beautiful. And this is great, good fortune. And so this is telling you basically that when you share your voice in this way, that you see success where you didn't see success before, right? You see people listening going, wow, I never thought of it that way. Whereas before, when you were trying to force your opinions on other people, your small t truths on other people, they were like, no, just like we don't appreciate when people are pushing their truths, small t truths on us, right? So you're going to see this like, wow, there's this change of how it's received and perceived. Yeah, and then you have mountain here. And that says major challenge to overcome. And I don't know if it is a major challenge for you to overcome trying to control other people's beliefs and opinions. For our ego, it is hard for them to do. But I really feel like this message is about that you are this perfect mountain already. And this is all about you're exploring who you are through this human form. Instead of seeing your mighty, mighty, perfect mountainness from the high viewpoint down, you are walking around as this human to see and discover things from a different perspective. And so this really helps you understand and allow other people to express what they're feeling, knowing that you don't have to take it on as your own truths, but you're allowing other people to express their truths, whether it's their small t truths or their capital T truths. And then you have the bull. And this is, do not back down from opposition, show strength and fortitude. So I love this because this isn't about conflict, though. This isn't about going, no, you're wrong. This is about, people going, no, you need to believe this and da-da-da-da-da. I'm not going to take no for an answer. And you're like, okay. And they're like, well, are you saying yes or no? I'm saying neither. Well, what? And one of the beautiful things that the Creator has shown me is whenever there's conflict and people are wanting you to engage in an argument, some people will say, well, don't you believe this? And I go, I'm not sure. The only thing I know for sure is that I want to seek after unconditional love. And once I have that down, then I will seek the next thing. Although right now I can't imagine what else there could be besides unconditional love. Once you find unconditional love, what else matters, right? But I don't go into that last part too much, but that's just for you. So I love that. And then we're also going to pull at least one card here from the tarot. Just see what else the Creator wants you to know about this first month. So what else for our Scorpios? Okay, with that one. Any others? Nope, just the one. And you've got the Ace of Wands. Wands is fire energy. It is your passion, your drive, your ambition, your aha inspiration, and your spiritual energy too. And I love the little butterfly, this transformation. You are ready. This is a new beginning, this new spark, this new drive, this new expression that's coming for you. So this is so perfect with what we've been talking about here, because you are ready for this new expansion, this new way of living. So perfect. And then we're going to move into the second month, and this is going to be pulling from this numerology guidance cards deck, and just see what the Creator wants you to know about your second month. So for our Scorpios, what do you want them to know? Yeah. And the Scorpio energy, you're like the sign of the zodiac that is about transformation. So I love that the butterfly showed up for you too. A relationship change. And this is all about our love adventures. So you do have this relationship change that happens in the month of the second month, not the month of February. I was thinking the second month, which is February. But maybe it is going to be February. Maybe that's what they were trying to tell me, that you have this, around Valentine's Day, right? Every year, your relationship changes around Valentine's Day. But there's this beautiful transformation that's happening. And a relationship change doesn't necessarily mean endings, right? It means evolving, it means transforming, it means moving into a new level. And especially as you find this love within yourself, and especially when I was talking about letting go of expectations, letting go of all that pressure, when you're allowing yourself to love yourself in a totally different way, you allow yourself to love others in a different way, a more free way. And I really feel like this what's happening is your relationship, either romantic, family, friends, or whatever, transforms because people see that you're not judging them with those expectations before, what it was all talking about, having this freedom, having this change that's happening, right? Because you're voicing yourself differently. And they do want me to read from the book here on this one. And it says, this card indicates when a relationship in your life is going through a period of change. This adjustment is inevitable and necessary for the natural progression of the relationship. And the wisdom and experience gained will be of great benefit to all involved. Whether a child is leaving home, a partnership or friendship is ended, or a loved one, a friend, a work colleague, or neighbor is going through a change, know that you and the other person are divinely guided and protected and have the strength to carry on. So strength has been mentioned several times, so definitely the strength card is here, and I'll probably talk about that if it doesn't pop up here in a sec. This card can also indicate a positive relationship change, says a declaration of a commitment, for example, a wedding or an engagement. And it can also indicate the resolution of an ongoing problem or dispute. So during this period of transition, it's important to remember that as you grow and evolve, your relationships grow and evolve too. So be flexible and adaptable and know that all is well. So, perfect. Okay, and then we have more tea leaf cards to pull from here. Let's see what else we've got. All right. So you have the needle and the thread. And even though, it says a sincere wish will be granted, it's about threading the needle. It's about you taking the action. And that's what this voicing yourself, voicing your higher self, your higher capital T truths is what happens, and that's what changes these relationships, because you're no longer combative, you are loving and you're sharing and you're sincere. And so that's the threading of the needle that grants you these beautiful passions, these beautiful wishes, these beautiful relationships that you've been searching for. It all starts from this inner work that you're doing. You got the bowl. And that says plenty of material things. So you have everything that you need. You don't feel so with these beliefs of lack. You don't feel like you're missing things in your life. You do feel this wholeness and this completeness that happens during the month of, your second month with these changes. And then, you have the months of the year here. So you've got November. So you've got these November energies. So November for you can represent like a birth date of someone. It can be an event of something that happened that is significant for you. This is going to be an indicator for you. And I don't really feel it has to do with like when relationships are changing. I feel like these November dates or birth dates or situations, whatever it may be, is to give you guidance on what relationship is changing, if that makes sense. Just change it a little bit. And then you have the table. Yeah, hard work is ahead. But I really feel this table, if you put, this is like the four of wands energy. If you put an S in front of that, it's stable, because you got four legs on a table that are very, very strong. You have the stability, you have the strength to get through, whatever comes. And it's because you're finding this inner strength that is coming from that. And of course, we're going to pull a tarot card for this month as well. Okay, so for our Scorpions, what do you want them to know about their second month? Okay, there is a card that did that there. What else? Anything else? Okay. Okay. So, Four of Wands was what I was talking about with this card here. So this is them saying, yeah, you were right. You weren't just making it up. So this is this fiery energy that's coming in. You know, you have the Ace of Wands here, all that passion. This is that stable energy, the stability that's coming through in the second month. And then you also have the Moon. And so this is very much, you know, your energy, water energy. It is very much this connection to the higher realms. She's carrying a torch here too, which really is this fire energy. And you're taking this and you're connecting to the higher realms. You are looking into the unknown. You're digging into the unconscious, the subconscious, the mysteries of your life instead of, you know, whereas before it was what everyone else is saying something means. You know, those capital T truths are opinions of opinions of opinions that we just took on because we were told we had to take them on. But you're diving deep. You're understanding what those capital T truths are. You're getting into the spiritual world, into the unknown world, connecting to that beautiful moon energy too. I would probably even look into the November moon, see what, as Novembers come around, really look into what moon energy is there, both like the new moon and the full moons that are going on whenever you're watching this. So it's either look back at the last November moon and then look at the future November moons and just see what energies those bring for you, because this is going to be that type of energy for whatever was there. If you look at the past, like the last November full moon and new moon, you'll see what was new things that were being planted and new things that were coming. And the future November, whatever new moon and full moon is in the future, that is showing you like where it is headed and where it's going. So that's a very interesting, I've never had them say that before. So take that as you will and check that out. Usually if you're like, I don't know how to do that, just Google, you know, full moon November, whatever year was the past, and there'll be people that'll mention stuff, and whatever jumps out to you, you know that's meant for you. Same thing for the other, like new moon and the future dates. And yeah, so that's what I have there. And I'm going to hold out on giving you the strength card story here momentarily, because we're going to take a look here at the third month, and we're going to use these Art of Manifestation Oracle to see what the Creator wants you to know about your third month. So for our Scorpios for month number 3, and get that one too. So you have mistakes. Let's just see that here. And this is like if you feel you have made a mistake, or indeed someone else has done so with impact on you, please don't feel bad about this. Treasure and value your mistakes and those of others around you. They are the cutting edge of our personal growth and evolution. Lean into the learning and celebrate your openness to grow. And that is something with mistakes. You know, when we believe, you know, these expectations like that original card talked about, we think that, well, if there's supposed to's and shoulds and need to's and you don't do that, that's a mistake. But if there are no expectations, if we do live in a place of no conditions, unconditional love, then there are no mistakes, there are just experiences. And so you transform and look at those situations differently. Yeah, because you have mistakes and problems. That's funny, it's 34 and 43, so the mirrors of each other, right? It says this card asks you to view any problems as opportunities rather than a crisis. So whether we identify a problem, our very recognition and acknowledgement of this difficulty creates an opportunity to seek a potential solution. As long as a problem remains unseen or indeed denied, the doorway to a potential solution remains closed. So this is about looking at those situations. You know, they're basically saying, if you say something's a mistake, you say something's a problem, don't judge yourself for it. Just realize, okay, that's the first step. I think something's a mistake, I think something's a problem. If I keep it suppressed and hidden and pushed down, it'll never get resolved. But at least bringing it up and going, okay, I think I made a mistake. Okay, I think I have a problem. When you look at them, you'll get to the roots, and then you also will get the solutions, right? And we're also going to pull, of course, some more tea leaf for these periods here. Okay, and then one more. Actually, they want me to take the final one from this deck here. So this will be the last one that we'll talk about in a moment. But for the third month, you've got the Throne. The Game of Thrones, right? Position of authority. Yeah, so you are looking at your life from a different point of view, and you don't feel so out of control out of your life anymore. You really feel like you are the one that gets to determine what story you apply to any of your problems or your mistakes or anything that comes your way. So with you being the one that gets to decide that, you don't feel so out of control as you did before. And then you've got Bat, the bat. And it says, take care, enemies are working against you. But for this one, they really have me wipe out the rest of it, where just focus on the take care. So take care of yourself. You know, look at what you're thinking, what your beliefs are, what your truths are. Like I talked about earlier, don't worry about everyone else. You can't control that. Everyone gets to decide their own stuff. And you cannot force anyone to do anything that they want to do or believe what they don't want to believe, right? They might act like you do, you know, like you're like, hey, I want you to believe this. And they're like, okay, I believe that. And then they don't. They just do it in front of you because they don't want to deal with your wrath or your anger. So, you know, you realize that, oh, the only thing I can control is what emotion I want to feel around a situation, or what, you know, story I want to apply to any situation. Those things are within my control. Yeah, and then you have mountain road. So you had mountain down here, and then you have the mountain road. So you're on the road to success. So you are continuing on this beautiful journey, walking around this perfect mountain that is you, seeing things from a different perspective. And you're seeing things, whereas before, like with mistakes and problems, that's very lack oriented and lack focused. Like there's something that's not right. There's something that's not the way it's supposed to be. But when you see things from a different perspective, you're able to see it and go, you know what? I can see this not as a problem anymore, but as an experience. Same with mistakes. And that transforms just your attitude about everything. And then you have Lily. And that says spiritual love. Boom. So yeah, definitely this is when you are really connecting to that higher love of your higher being, right? And before I pull over that last card, we of course want to pull a tarot card for month number 3 as well. At least one. Let's see. Okay. Anything else? Oh, okay. Yep. So this one made itself known first. And so you've got the 5 of Wands. And again, you have all this fiery Wands energy that is coming in here. And the 5 of Wands is this transformation, oddly enough, that represents your change of how you look at a situation. Whereas you thought it was conflict before, which we talked about with, you know, that, and actually I was going to mention this card at the very beginning because it reminded me so much of it, that, you know, when you think something is a conflict, like trying to have a small t truth, prove that other people's small t truths are less true than yours, and it transforms into something different. Because when you look at it, and this looks like battle, it looks like war, it looks like conflict, and usually I'll have like this little kung fu movie start playing in my head where there's these 5 individuals and they have those long staffs and they're all battling and fighting, and you're like, oh my gosh, what's going on? And finally 4 of them are laying down exhausted and there's only 1 left standing. And then they help each other up and they laugh and they put their long stabs to the side, and they all buddy walking arm in arm and laughing as they head off to the monastery dining hall, because it wasn't people that were battling trying to hurt one another. These were Buddhist monks that were helping each other train to improve their skills. And so you see the transformation of the energy that happens there. One was so conflict and dangerous and fearful, and the other is like, oh, they're almost like brothers helping each other out to help each other grow instead. And so that's that transformation that happens with this energy of voicing yourself too. And then you have the justice, which is all about balancing out and understanding the difference. You have 2 scales here. I mean, this is a scale. So you have the 2 sides of the scale. One is the human side, which I'll talk about the strength card here in a moment because this is so screaming for it. And then you have the other is your higher spiritual self, and this is the balancing out of those thoughts and those beliefs. It's the small t truths with a capital T truths, because you have this Ace of Swords over here that she is wielding. And the Ace of Swords does 2 things. One, it allows you to connect to the higher capital T truths of the spiritual world, of spiritual love, but it also allows you to cut away those thoughts and those beliefs, those small t truths that no longer serve you. So the strength card is basically, usually they'll have like a lion on there and then a maiden on there. And the maiden will have like an infinity symbol either on her or around her. And the lion represents our smaller human self that's come down here to experience the human experience. And then the maiden represents our infinite self with the infinity symbol. So that's our higher self, our spiritual self. That's the actor behind the character of the little lion. Well, the lion comes down veiled from knowing its higher spiritual connection to the spiritual, powerful self. And when it comes down, it's told you are hungry and you are thirsty and you feel empty and you want to seek to quench your thirst and to feel whole. And it's pointed out to the outside world going, go out there, eat of relationships, eat of situations like jobs and education, eat of things and bodies and possessions and all those physical things. And that is going to make you feel whole. It's going to fill up your stomach and it's going to quench your thirst. And the lion goes out there and eats of that stuff. And it's like American Chinese food. It eats of it and it's hungry an hour later, and it may not even have filled it up at all. It drinks of those things and is even more thirsty than it was before, to the point that it is so desperate that it becomes hangry. It's hungry, angry, and it's roaring in the jungle. Well, our higher self, is always aware of every part of ourself. So with it roaring, it comes down to see what's going on, and it doesn't, kill the lion to put it out of its misery, or it doesn't cage it to protect other people from it. It doesn't try to control it or manipulate it with a whip and a chair like they do in the circuses and all that. Because it knows that what the lion is truly hungry for is the unconditional love of back home. And perfectly, our higher self is made of unconditional love, so it's able to give the lion what it's truly hungry for. And so it hugs it and gives it the love, and that lion transforms from this roaring lion in the jungle to this purring little lion cub sitting in the lap of our higher self, feeling full with its thirst quenched and feeling loved, unconditionally loved, maybe for the first time in its life. And then it has this bond together where it walks hand in hand in this lifetime, the lion now aware of its higher powerful self. And it's our higher self isn't like Superman where it comes down, rescues, and then flies off. It stays with us for the rest of our life here. It's always been with us, but it stays connected and with this awareness and walks with us hand in hand through the rest of our life. So that is the beauty of connecting to our higher selves, and a huge piece of this transformation. It is the U times 2, which I think I mentioned in the beginning, but we have started putting out this series this year called U times 2, which is about understanding this relationship with us, higher self and our smaller self. And so that'll be also linked at the end here once we get to the end of the video too, and it's in the description box below. And then your final tea leaf card is Shield. And this is, you need to defend yourself. And I feel like this is where you have the 5 of Wands here. This is 7 of Wands energy, which is someone standing on a hill feeling like they have to defend it because people are attacking them. And this is the belief that you're leaving behind, that you need to defend yourself. Your capital T truths do not need to be defended because they just are. Small t truths, our ego, the little lion, it knows it wants, these small t truths have to be defended because if it's not true, who am I and what's on? And it fears being wrong. It fears being rejected. And so this is kind of the crux of the whole transformation is you do not need to defend yourself because you are already shielded, because you are shielded in unconditional love, right? And then lastly, we're going to pull a card here, at least one, from this Chakra Love deck, and this will be your final message from the Creator. Let's see, what is your final message for our Scorpios, please? Okay. You get 2. So the first one is confidence, and this is your solar plexus chakra, which all has to do with your relationship to yourself, which makes sense with that. It says no one will believe in you if you don't believe in yourself. Be your own cheerleader, and you do have your own cheerleader, which we just talked about. And then you also have another solar plexus, which has to do with your relationship to you, and it's manifestation. Manifestation is the fruition of confidence and belief. So confidence, belief, definitely believing in yourself, connecting with yourself is such the huge piece of this, to where you can voice your capital T truths as you discover what those are. So I love this. And as I mentioned, so if this did not resonate with you, or you want more information on your love adventure, the love adventure 1 and 2 will appear in the corners here. The U times 2 will appear in one of the corners down here. And in addition to those, I also do monthly readings for each of the zodiac signs, weekly energy updates for each of the elements like fire signs, water signs. I also do new moon, full moon readings, as well as some other types of videos throughout the month. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those and to be notified immediately when they become available, if you give this video a little thumbs up and click the like button, and then also click on the subscribe button, that'll make this notification bell pop up, and then that allows you to choose to be notified immediately when new videos come out on this channel. Also, doing all those things helps spread the love. So if you like a video or share a video or subscribe to a channel, that just makes this little YouTube algorithm so happy and excited that it wants to share the videos of this channel with other people as well. So if you feel so inclined to do any of those, I of course greatly appreciate that, but never any pressure to do so. All right, all you Scorpios, as you go throughout each and every second of every day of your life, please know that you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things. And of course, I love you too. You have an amazing love adventure. I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon. And until then, you take care.